What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. Today, I wanted to talk about both silver and gold because it seems as though the precious metals are getting ready for war as tensions between Russia and Ukraine are building back up again. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos, subscribe to my second channel for weekly videos, get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. Got the limited edition Lucky line available until St. Patrick's Day. Come and join us in the Precious Metals VIP Club for giveaways, live streams, deal alerts, and a whole lot more. And of course, go and get your 2 free stocks by downloading Webull and funding your account. Refer 1 friend, you have a chance of winning a free share of Google. Refer 3 friends, and you're guaranteed $150 worth of Apple stock. Everything is linked in the description. So today is Thursday, February 17th, 2022. The current spot price of silver, as I'm filming the video, is $23.74. It's up 18 cents or up 0.76%. Spot price of gold is $18.9550. It's up $25.60 or up 1.37%. And of course, the gold to silver ratio is now in the 79 to 80 to 1 range. But again, that's as I'm filming the video, not as I'm editing, posting, or as you're watching. So head on down to the comments and let me know the date and time you're viewing the video and what the current spot price is for you. I'm always curious. So today, I wanted to talk a little bit about silver, a little bit about gold, and give some updates regarding what's going on between Russia and Ukraine right now. And as you can see on display, have a nice little selection. The same selection I've had on display all week so far. Got the Creatures of the North, got some Queen's Beasts, got some junk silver in the bottom corners, got some silver bars, silver rounds, nice little stack of gold over there, fractional gold coins. But before we can even get into the money, I think we need to first talk about the currency and how the markets are reacting right now to the tensions between Russia and Ukraine heating back up. So for those of you that didn't know, for a while now, Russia has been getting more and more aggressive toward Ukraine, especially these last couple of weeks. I had learned recently that there were at least 8 minor attacks on Ukraine by Russia in only 12 days alone. This had been leading a lot of people to believe that Russia is going to full-on invade Ukraine. In preparation for that, a lot of countries have started to intervene, including the US, urging Russia to withdraw troops. All of this has led to the markets doing what they do best, which is to price in the absolute worst case scenario. For example, the markets are not worried about an invasion. The markets are worried about an all-out war. Now, clearly, war isn't good for anybody, and if war were to break out, you better believe the US would be all over that since we can't seem to mind our business. But you want to know one thing war is good for? Precious metals. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here with my fingers crossed hoping for a war because I want spot price to go up. No. In fact, I'd rather spot price go down if it meant preventing a war. I mean, I'd prefer spot price to go down, period, because I'd like to get more silver and gold, but I don't want a war. Nobody wants a war. But with tensions building back up right now, there are a lot of people flocking to silver and gold. And it's not just war or the possibility of war that's good for metals. It's really any form of bad news when it comes to the economy or situations going on in the world. So on Monday, the spot price of silver and gold were both on the rise. And of course, the stock market was falling straight down. As it seemed, the Russia-Ukraine situation was getting nothing but worse. But then on Tuesday, we got some information that said that Russia had started withdrawing some of its troops. I even made a video about it. And I said that this so-called withdrawal seemed like good news or was being perceived as good news, but it was a bit too early to make any conclusive statements. But surprise, surprise, the markets didn't have an issue jumping to conclusions. So on Tuesday, the stock market really started climbing again, and the precious metals took a bit of a dive down over the quote-unquote good news. That was Tuesday. Yesterday was Wednesday, and we didn't hear all that much yesterday about what was going on. But then today, which is Thursday, we're getting new reports that are saying things along the lines of Russia lied about the withdrawal and they're sending more troops in. Or 46, now known as 49.45 due to inflation, thinks that there will be an invasion. Or that Russian troops are now moving closer to Ukraine. So point being is that now it seems that everything's starting to flip-flop, and wouldn't you know it, so have the markets. Let's take a quick look at how the stock market is behaving today. We have the S&P 500 down 1.42%. We have the Dow Jones down 1.38%. And we have the NASDAQ down 1.6%. Everything is down, red across the board. The markets are pricing in worst possible case scenario, invasion, war, terrible, horrible things. We all know how the markets behave. But really quick, speaking of the stock market, friendly reminder, go and get your 2 free stocks by downloading Webull and funding your account. That's all you have to do. And then if you refer one friend, you get a spin on the Webull wheel where you have a chance of winning a free share of Google. And then if you refer 3 friends, you get a free $150 worth of Apple stock. Those promos end this month. You have less than 2 weeks. Webull link in the description. But now moving away from stocks, moving away from Russia, moving away from Ukraine, moving away from all of that, let's now talk a little bit about the silver and the gold. So sitting here in front of me, like I said before, nice little selection. We got some sunshine bars. We got the 5-ounce Aztec calendar round. We got some miscellaneous coins right here, silver eagles, type 1, type 2, a maple leaf, a kangaroo. We got some 90% junk constitutional silver down here at the bottom in the corner, and over there on the other corner. We have some Queen's Beasts. We have some Creatures of the North. We have some more silver bars, a 1-ounce bar, 5-ounce bar, 10-ounce bars. And we got a nice little stack of gold right there. A nice little pile of fractional gold coins, Eagle, Maple, Philharmonic, things like that. So with everything, like I said before, beginning to flip-flop again, from the news that we had earlier in the week, or really the news that we've had for the last couple of weeks. And then things appeared to flip on Tuesday. Didn't hear a great deal of news on Wednesday, and now today everything flip-flopped back and is apparently even worse than it was before. Guess what? Not only is the stock market heading back down in a downward direction, but the precious metals are on the rise once again. Silver is up 0.76%. Gold is up 1.37%. It seems as though, title of the video, it seems as though the precious metals are ready for war, or at the very least, getting ready for war, because bad things going on in the world. World news, current events, economic news, financial news, whenever it leans in the bad news direction, silver and gold tend to like that. So with silver and gold kind of strengthening right now, so it seems as though the markets are pricing in that they need to start playing defense, which coincidentally, precious metals happen to be my form of playing financial defense. And I've been playing defense for the last 4 years, a little over 4 years. I think 4 years and a month or two. Precious metals have been my way of playing defense. Now, as I always say, at the moment, at this point in time, it makes more sense for me to be playing offense rather than defense, but I'm still maintaining. That's what I like to do, in form of prepping as well. I like to strengthen my weaknesses, and I like to maintain my strengths. I don't like to neglect my strengths, because if you neglect your strengths will soon become your weaknesses. So you got to keep maintaining, you got to keep adding on, got to keep building, even if that's not where your focus is. So that's currently where I am right now. I'm continuing to add, continuing to stack, but I believe that my team has the ball right now. I think it's my time to play offense. And the reason for that is because right now it seems as though a lot of people are too afraid to be playing offense. That's just my strategy for the time being, so that's what I'm going to stick to for at least the next couple of weeks. But when it comes to the silver and gold, it seems as though they're getting ready for war. It seems as though they are strengthening right now. Now, God only knows what type of news is going to be flip-flopped on us tomorrow. God only knows what's going to happen next week. God only knows what's going to happen over the next 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. I will say this, though. We have a lot of stuff going on. So you don't want to be distracted by the headlines right now. Number one, if you see the headlines, ignore them. Do not worry about the headlines. Read the articles. Don't read the headlines. Figure out exactly what's going on. Read the details. Read what people actually have to say. Read the information. Don't read the headlines. But on top of that, don't just be distracted by the biggest and hottest stories going on right now. Keep in mind, it's February 17th. Tomorrow, February 18th, happens to be the last day that our government has until funding runs out, and we're either going to have to extend the government budget or we're going to see a government shutdown. I don't hear a lot of people talking about that. In fact, I seem to be the only one talking about that, and I've been talking about it since December. Now, maybe people are just anticipating that we're going to end up kicking the can down the road even further, which, let's be honest, that's almost guaranteed to happen. I'd be willing to bet the stack on it. But we have seen government shutdowns in recent history, and it wouldn't surprise me if we ended up seeing another one. But regardless, I'm starting to wonder if that, in any way, shape, or form, is also being priced in. Because guess what? That's more bad news. That's what we don't like to hear. That's what the markets don't react to in a very positive way. But the silver and gold, on the other hand, they seem to like news like that. And the deadline is, at this point, 24 hours away. So I wonder if anybody is pricing that in at all, or if I'm the only one paying attention to that. In addition to that, we're only a couple weeks away from the next jobs report. That should be coming out the first week of March. We're only a couple of weeks away from the next inflation report. That should be coming out around March 10th. And depending on that news, the Federal Reserve is going to be making the decision on whether or not they need to pick up the pace when it comes to the current game plan, when they plan on ending the taper, / what they're going to do when it comes to rates. Because right now, we're probably expecting rates to go up in small increments by like 0.25% at a time. But if inflation remains persistent, or God forbid gets even worse, the Federal Reserve is likely to hike rates in larger increments, maybe 0.5% at a time. Preferably not more than that, because that would really shock the markets and that wouldn't be good news. But we're also on the brink of a technical recession, a recession on paper. If we see 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth, aka 6 bad months, keep in mind, the Federal Reserve, with everything going on regarding inflation, they could send us into a recession intentionally if it's pretty much the last resort when it comes to combating inflation and doing what needs to be done to prevent inflation from turning into hyperinflation. They could send us into a recession on purpose, because a recession would get people to stop spending. Right now, a lot of people are spending. A lot of people are driving prices up. We're seeing inflation for a couple of different reasons. We're seeing inflation due to supply chain constraints. We're seeing inflation because of the absurd amount of currency printing that has been done over the last 2 years, physical printing or just the digital creation of dollar bills, rearranging numbers on a balance sheet. But we're also seeing inflation because right now a lot of people have more money than they've ever had before, and they're spending like crazy. Look at the numbers when it comes to how much money is being spent on non-essentials. Through the roof. Look at Disney's numbers. Look at how many people are paying crazy amounts of money to skip the line. Right now, today, this week, this month. People are spending crazy amounts of money right now. A lot of people have more money than they've ever had before. A lot of people have higher balances in their checking account than they've ever had before. People are spending like crazy right now because we've been overstimulated for the last 2 years. When that comes to an abrupt halt, could be the Federal Reserve's last resort to preventing people from continuing to spend the way that they're spending, because they're driving the prices even higher. Prices already are out of control, and people are voluntarily driving them up even more. So point being is that there's a lot of stuff going on right now. It's not just Russia versus Ukraine, or really at this point, Russia versus everybody. It's not exclusively reliant on that right there. We have a lot of other information. We have a lot of other issues going on right now. We have a lot of other things to worry about. And I don't think that we should be completely distracted by what's going on with the most popular headlines right now. Sure, it's important. It's absolutely important. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not important or it doesn't matter. It absolutely does matter. But there's way more that we need to pay attention to. Don't be distracted by just one thing. Pay attention to what's actually going on. But I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. What are your thoughts on Russia versus Ukraine right now? Do you think it's going to get worse? Do you think it's going to get better? And of course, are you on the same page as me? Do you personally believe that the silver and gold are ready for war? Head on down to the comments and let me know. If you guys like today's video, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Subscribe to my second channel for weekly videos. Get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel in the biggest possible way. We got t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, coffee mugs in a bunch of different designs. We also have the limited edition, luck has nothing to do with it, t-shirts and hoodies, only available until St. Patrick's Day, and a portion of the proceeds are going to St. Baldrick's Foundation. DYDSS store will be linked in the description. Come and join us in the Precious Metals VIP Club, which is where I do giveaways every single month, live streams multiple times a week, deal alerts on silver and gold every single day. You can watch all of my videos early and commercial free, and there are a ton of other perks as well. VIP Club link in the description. And of course, last but not least, go and get your 2 free stocks by downloading Webull and funding your account. They're going to give you 2 free random stocks just for doing so. And then if you share the February promo and refer just one friend, they will give you a spin on the Webull wheel where you have a chance of winning a free share of Google worth over $2,000. And if you refer 3 friends, you get a free $150 worth of Apple stock. Those promos end this month. Don't pass up on an opportunity. Webull link in the description. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know once again. With everything going on right now, we have a lot on the table. There's a lot on our plate. We have Russia versus Ukraine. We have the very slim chance of a government shutdown tomorrow. We have jobs report coming up in a couple of weeks. The next inflation report coming up in a couple of weeks. We have the Fed taper and rate hikes to worry about. And that's all just within the next 4 or 5 weeks. Do you believe that the Russia-Ukraine situation is going to get better? Do you believe that it's going to get worse? When it comes to the next couple of reports coming out, you optimistic? You pessimistic? Then, of course, when it comes to the government shutdown and the Fed taper and rate hikes and whatnot, what are your thoughts on that right there? And, of course, are you on the same page as me when it comes to the precious metals right now? Do you personally feel as though the silver and gold are about ready for war? Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you tomorrow. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.